Hello again, Sub Messenger here for Bullshido.net and another video in my series on MABs um, tools and techniques. A couple of questions came up and I just wanted to address them real quick. In addition, a couple of things that I forgot. So we want to talk about first versioning. So HTTrack at this point does not have versioning really built in. So if you download a website and then you go back the next day and download another website, it's going to overwrite the contents in your same directory. So what you could do is when we're going through our wizard here, and you'll see my websites, you can pop a date in here, 2016, 09, 12, and make that your base, and then change it again and again. So you could reload your project file here, a sheet of Kim for Bullshido, change the date, and grab it. Then there are some utilities that will allow you to glean differences in between the two. So that is step number one. Something else that I wanted to cover here that I just forgot to in my initial video. But if you look at this browser ID tab, okay, so if we're in a situation that we don't want people to know that we're spidering their site with HTTrack, you can pick a different user agent here. I think by default, this is the user agent string. But we can go up here and choose Internet Explorer or anything else out of the drop-down, and I believe we can also type in our own. If we wanted to expose that, or you could copy it from your weblogs, or you could look at what your local, what your own current browser is, and type that in there. All right. Another thing that I wanted to cover real quick was the fact that you can run HTTrack from a command line. I pretty much never do this. Let me zoom in on this so we can actually see what's going on here. So you could run this from the command line, and it has a bunch of different command line options that you can basically run it in batch mode. So if you wanted to kick this off out of cron or something like that, you were savvy enough to put together a script to download a website every day, you could use the command line interface to just do that automatically so that you don't have to personally go into the wizard over here. Alright, so moving right along, the final thing that I wanted to talk today about is the Wayback Machine. So this is a non-profit project to basically do versioning on websites that exist on the web, obviously. And it has a really nifty interface. It can sometimes be really slow, but let's say bullshido.net, and we'll browse history here. So if you look, these graphs here indicate when the site was spidered by the Wayback Machine. And specifically, you can look at dates. These dates here are in 2016. We could go back to 2012. Here's dates they did it. They don't always do complete snapshots of the website, but if you're looking for a particular piece of content, especially something that has been in the longer past, not just recent history, but longer past. So let's look at 2005. And this is what bullshido.net looked like at that point in time. And when you click on these links, you'll see that the links are rewritten down here at the bottom. I don't know if you can, if you look at the bottom of the browser window, you'll see web.archive.org/web/2005-2805-1104. This is when they spidered. And so if you clicked on one of these links, all right, that's going to the image. Comments, they save the comments. No, they don't have the comments. So here. This is not a complete archive, like I said. You know, they'll have their own algorithms to say, okay, we're going to go this deep or whatever it is. So on some websites, you know, very simple websites. So let's say HTTrack. All right, so here's HTTrack going back to 1999, which we already discussed was kind of the inception of the site. So we can go back to the very first version of the website that was spidered. And find out more information here, right? So we can get a postal address right here. And hey, I don't think that that exists on the current site. Google is another way to get some of this information. So you can say site HTTrack.com postal address. Oh, he does have that on his current site. But another thing you could do here, sometimes a website will be down. If you click this little triangle right here, you can go into Google's archive. And this is not being served from HTTrack.com. This is the copy that Google has of the HTTrack.com website. So that's another way to get information that may not be available any longer online. I think that pretty much covers the things that I wanted to talk about today. I'm still going to come back and address in more detail, hopefully, versioning of websites. Like we talked about the Spencer thread, where this guy was updating his site all the time, and we were having trouble in the maps thread keeping up with all the changes that he was making. And I also want to come back at a later date and talk about what you can do to maintain a chain of custody to, you know, prove that you know, this content was real and live at the time that you downloaded it, so that it could stand up to scrutiny in a court of law. All right, so that is the end of today's video, and we will see you next time.